Smash, it might be okay.
Oh, what? Just ran into it and another one on the attack.
Back to back.
Finds the footing, actually missing the platform. Yeti not over there for the punish. Here we go. Big combo. Let me get the drag down.
Give me the loop.
Give it a loop.
Didn't get the whole loop right there.
Oh, doesn't need it.
Full Bloom 5 was this last weekend in Bloomington, Indiana, and that tournament was honestly really fun. It was a 2-day event at Indiana University, I think it is, and it was really fun. I liked a lot of the people there, just went to a new region, which is always nice, meeting a bunch of new fans, a bunch of new players for Ultimate. There I did enter Ultimate Singles and Ultimate Doubles with MVD, so let us just get into the tournament. So, like always, I teamed with MVD at this tournament, and it was a lot of fun. We got some ridiculous things, and I'm pretty overall happy with how we did. Round 1, we played against Aurora and Bremen, which was a Link Fox team, and again, me and MVD, actually game 1, we were Pikachu and Snake, and then afterwards we went Pikachu Greninja, because MVD does have a secondary Greninja, but we were able to clean that out 2-0 pretty solidly. The next round we were playing against Rubica and Superior JT, which was Incineroar and Lucina, and that was the clip that I showed on Twitter, which was ridiculous. The 0 to death at the very beginning of the game. Me and MVD just super confident, got combos, got edge guards. We actually went Yoshi and Greninja game 2, and we still won that. It was a little bit more awkward, so I think if we are going to do something where MVD is uncomfortable on Snake in a double set, it'll be Pikachu and Greninja as opposed to like Yoshi, Greninja, or anything like that. It'll really have to depend, but that's what kind of we're seeing going forward in the future. In winners quarterfinals, we played against Sofa King and Zero Zen, which was a Pichu Pokemon trainer team, and it was just kind of like a slightly worse version of Wishes and Ralphie, which we had played at Frostbite and did very well versus. And game 1, we did incredibly well. We actually 6-stocked them game 1, so we were very confident in the rest of the set. And then game 2, not quite that bad. I think it was like a 4 or a 3-stock, but either way, we did win pretty solidly to advance into winners semifinals, where we played against Meister and Nuh-Uh, which was a Game & Watch and Pokemon trainer. All these Pokemon trainers, they're coming out for crazy. Trainer's really good in doubles also, because if MVD gets a stick on him or Snake gets a stick on Trainer and they swap, the stick falls off, which is really nice. Obviously Meister being able to absorb the grenades and the C4s, we had to play very different, but that did not stop us from 3-1ing them. I believe game 1 we were down a decent amount, and then we brought it back because we just played a different type of game, like only sticky pretty much, and just giving it to Meister and comboing or like baiting it and getting punishes. Then game 2, they ended up winning because I think they picked Kalos or Kalos rather, and the stage was pretty small and we weren't able to really get our setups. But then game 3 and 4 we played much more solid, and we ended up just getting those wins, getting big leads, baiting Meister. We got some ridiculous little team combos or team strategies, which was really, really nice. So we did end up advancing into winners finals, where we ended up falling to Cosmos and Mars 3-0. Inkling's just really awkward in doubles because I feel like neither me nor MVD are comfortable hitting him, and then Mars is a nut and will just hit buttons, and so you're never really comfortable when you're on that side of the stage, but you want to be like more passive because that's what you have to do versus Inkling, but you can't because then an Ike is there. It's really, Inkling is kind of problematic for us in doubles. We don't exactly know what to do versus him, at least Cosmos, as we have lost to Cosmos before in doubles, so it's not exactly comfortable for us, but they did just like straight up outplay us. Then they won 3-0 like very, very solid. In losers finals, we ended up playing against Yeti and Gemini, which was a Mega Man and Zelda. Gemini played multiple characters in top 8, being Ridley, I think, playing Pokemon Trainer, and then in our set playing against Zelda. And we also lost a game in this set. I believe it was game 2, because like I think MVD died really early to like a Mega Man up air or like a spike or something like that, and we never really got the momentum back, and so we did end up losing that game. But overall, we just kind of were ahead most of the time, except the very beginning of game 1 because we made it a comeback. But then game 3 and 4, very, very solid for us. We weren't particularly worried to get our run back versus Mars and Cosmos, and this set, although we lost, was 3-1, but that's because after they were up 2-0, Mars went Ice Climbers, and we still didn't really win that game by that much. Both of those players obviously amazing in doubles. As I mentioned, Inkling is kind of problematic for us. Mars, one of the best doubles players in the game, so second place, again, not what we wanted. We've gotten second place before, specifically at Frostbite. It's not what we want, but I think overall we were playing very well, and we're starting to determine what things are like problematic, and so we can now look for like, oh, what are our counterplays to Inkling, what are our counterplays to specific things that we have to deal with, because like we didn't necessarily have trouble with Mars's Ike overall, because we did beat him at Frostbite in winners semis with him in Tweak, so we can do that, or I think it was winners finals, I don't remember, so we can do that, we can deal with Ike. But why was this time it was problematic? Was it because of Inkling? How do we deal with Inkling? How do we deal with Ink? Or just like the passivity, like what do we do? And now we can kind of figure out the strategies because we have been playing doubles enough at enough tournaments, and we kind of see what we're losing to is fairly similar. So I'm glad for that. Second, again, not what we wanted, but we have a lot of information now now moving forward, so hopefully we can do better at least when the summer rolls around. My round 1 pool started with me playing against the 9, a Mr. Game & Watch main, and I 2-0'd him pretty solidly as far as I remember, just kind of hit him for all the things that I'm supposed to hit Game & Watch for. The next round I played against Buzz Lightyear 420, which is probably the best tag I've ever heard. He was a Roy main, and I went Pikachu game 1, won that, then I went Yoshi game 2 because I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable using my secondaries in tournament, so I kind of just did that, and I won that 2-0 to advance to Winners Finals of my pool. And that was against Burzus, who was a Rob main. Game 1 I won pretty handily, Pikachu Rob. Then game 2 I went Roy because again I'm trying to test my secondaries and I wanted to play Roy on stream because I did mention I am trying to pick up Roy, kind of, and I lost that game. And then game 3 I went Pikachu and I won pretty solidly again to advance into top 48 winners. Round 1 of my top 48, I had to play against Blorp, a Palutena main, and he was actually pretty solid. He did a lot of things correct, tried to edgeguard me correct, used a lot of back air, a lot of little things about the matchup he was doing well, but as you know, if it was ever close, I would just start like camping in front of him and then only kind of jumping at him when he jumped already, so I would like forward air, anti-air, or air to air him. It was really difficult for him to really get what he wanted to start it unless I was just kind of ahead and kind of letting it happen because I was ahead and I knew that and that was like okay to me, which is a bad mindset to go about it, but I also, knew I was better than him, so I was like, okay, well, if it's close, I will try my hardest, and if it's not, I will try to just like play the game I want to play, not necessarily the matchup correctly, and it kind of happened, and I did win that 3-0 to advance into Winners Quarterfinals where I played against Ned. Because of Nimbus, I actually got a lot of Pokemon Trainer experience with Pandarian because we played 2 sets at that tournament, but Ned is a bit different because his best Pokemon is probably Squirtle, which in my opinion is the Pokemon that does the best against Pikachu, so it was a little bit more difficult. He did this crazy edgeguard sequence when he took game 3, although I did win that 3-1. Just again, I was just kind of outplaying him, I outdamaged him, I got a couple up throw thunders, a couple ridiculous edgeguards, and it was just very solid on my end. So that put me into top 8 winners where I had to play against Meister, and Meister is amazing. He is so good at this game, and he did end up beating me 3-1. Game 1, I remember a couple weird things happening. I don't remember what they were, but it was like, I'm expecting this to happen. Oh, well, that interaction did not happen the way I expected it to, and it would like kill me or deal a bunch of percent. I didn't know that I could edgeguard his uppy with downer if it wasn't that close, because I thought it was a little bit more invincible than it was in this game. I knew that like Chef was really a pain in the ass, and uppy out of shield was really good, but I guess I didn't realize quite how good they were to play against them, so I didn't really exactly play as patient in some situations as I should have, so he did win that 3-1. Played very well, actually. He reversed 3-stocked me game 4, which was amazing on him, and like no 9. Actually, the only game he got a 9 was the game that I won, which was game 3, so that's just kind of funny, and I feel like I could have won. I feel like the next time we play, I will do a lot better. I was looking forward to that in losers bracket, but unfortunately, it did not get there. My losers quarters was against Yeti, the Mega Man Snake main, and because of how I kind of beat him pretty handily at Genesis, and that was with the macro canceling with Pellet Leaf Shield, he was like, I'm not gonna go Mega Man, I'm gonna go Snake, but then it's Snake versus me. He did start off a very strong lead game 1, but then at some point against like game 1s or even like after game 1, I'm just like, okay, I'm comfortable now, like I understand how you play, so let me just like beat you, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. He had a small lead, and then I just didn't let him keep it, and then I ended up winning game 1, and then winning game 2, and then winning game 3. I feel like Yeti is an amazing player, but I feel like I just have a really good spread against him because Pikachu does really well versus Mega Man, and even though I think Pikachu Snake is even, it's me versus Snake, and no one will have as much experience against Pikachu as I do versus Snake, so it's going to be my favorite against everyone that's not MVD. Then in loser semis, I played a really close set against Panda Global's own Cosmos. I won game 1 with like a 3-stock comeback, which was ridiculous. I barely lost game 2. I remember I misinputted a couple things that would have been pretty big. I would have got like 15 to 20 more percent, and it ended up being a pretty last hit game, so I lost that game. I won game 3, I lost game 4, I think a 2-stock, and then I tried to go back to Kalos, which was where I won game 3, and I ended up getting 2-stocked there. Cosmos just kind of got my read in the neutral, games 4 and 5, which was really good by him. It felt hard to do anything, and anytime I did, I would either mess it up or he would just have like the perfect answer for it, in disadvantage or even just in neutral. So congrats to him, like he played really well. He ended up winning 3-2. I feel like I can do it again. It's one of those things, I like that matchup, it's even, but I think in that matchup, in that day, he was just playing better than me. And it showed because he ended up beating Meister and then getting back to grand finals where Mars ended up taking the tournament, the new Panda Global player. Mars, he just played crazy good, and I'm so sad that I lost to Meister, not because, well, like, one, obviously because I lost, but two, I just really wanted to play against Mars because I love fighting Zero Suit. Mars is so much fun to play. I remember I made a video a while ago that was like, Mars is one of my favorite players to play against in the entire world, and I want to play Molten Ultimate and I wasn't able to, so I'm kind of sad about that, but overall the tournament was very fun. It was kind of laid back because it was only like 250 allowed entrants, so doubles ran pretty quickly, and also so did singles other than the 2-hour kind of chunk where they were trying to mess with the mainstream. So like other than that, it was great. You know, I had time to go hang out with my friends after the tournament. I wasn't super exhausted. I was able to cheer on for Zayn because Zayn also won Melee, so Panda Global just did really, really well at this event. You know, it's nice to go to these events that aren't particularly stressful because yeah, I always want to win, but it's definitely not a Frostbite or a Genesis or a CEO or an EVO or something like that. Full Bloom a little bit smaller, a little bit more grassroots, and it definitely had that feel. It was a little bit more homey, which was really fun because I was able to spend more time with the other Melee players that I like, with the other Ultimate players from Midwest that I like, and it was just really kind of nice to be able to, more so like, it was just a hangout that also I did really well, but it was just a hangout and that was really, really fun. I definitely went to the bar twice to just enjoy my time with like TK Breezy, Vicky, MVD, and then there was a bunch of others that came the next day, like Blind from Unrivaled Tournaments, and then like Hugs was there, Swedish Delight was there, and then a bunch of people came after Melee ended. It was just a lot of fun to just hang around all those people and just really enjoy their company because especially since Ultimates dropped, it's kind of just been content and tournaments and trying to do well in content and tournaments, and this was the first tournament that a lot of people were at that I wasn't super stressed, so that was kind of nice, and it was a very much like well-needed reprieve before things start getting crazy at the end of March and then, you know, into May, or rather into April and then into May, and then of course that's the summer of Smash and it's gonna get wild. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely do recommend Full Bloom if you are in the Midwest area, for sure, at the very least. You know, even some other players you can travel to it. It was a lot of fun to just go. As always, social media, Panda and partner stuff is down below, and I will see you all next time.